Hello, and welcome to, a King of the Hill podcast for monsters, vampires, and ghosts who go right for the groin. I'm Rob.
And I'm Ronnie. Today we're talking about Season 2, Episode 4, Hilloween.
The devil doesn't want you to know the truth. Did your father ever make you drink blood? He made me eat liver once.
Oh, and we're talking with our old friend, the writer, teacher, podcaster.
Oh my God.
Demon.
That's right.
John Paul Scotto.
I was been really mad if you didn't make sure everyone knew I was a demon.
Yeah, and that's new. That's a new development too.
Well, it's always been true, but now I'm just out about it. You know.
Oh, the mask is off.
Now everyone knows I'm a demon.
The human mask is off.
Yeah, I called my mom and told her, and
that must have been heartbreaking.
Yeah, she was pretty upset about it. She knew since I was a kid. But she was hoping I would, keep that shit. And
Can you imagine this Irish Catholic mother of three finding out that her firstborn is, in fact, as she always suspected, a demon?
Yeah,
Bummer.
She looked at me funny a lot of times in church when there was smoke coming out of my ears.
She didn't bring it up, though. She's like,
She was like, he'll grow out of it.
Maybe it won't be a problem. Maybe it'll be okay.
It's a phase that he's a demon.
In this episode, Halloween is days away and under attack by a God-fearing woman who wants to ban the holiday from Arlen.
Do people go around, does anyone ever drink blood for real? When Luanne said that, I was like, drinking blood, huh? That's like a thing.
Don't your people do that every Sunday?
Well, I mean, literally. We do the weird thing where you just drink wine and pretend it's blood.
Yeah. That's the normal thing.
That's also very weird, but compared to real drinking blood, I'm like, there are people going around drinking blood?
I think for ritualistic or religious purposes, perhaps.
Yeah.
I couldn't name which religions or rituals would involve that. But I know in a future King of the Hill episode, Bobby almost drinks dog's blood with David Cross. So I guess there's some cartoon characters doing it at least.
Ooh, dog's blood somehow makes it worse.
Yeah.
Why is that,
do I
right?
think that's the grosser kind?
If it was a cow's blood, it'd be like, it's still gross, but,
I mean, obviously,
that's beef,
Yeah, right, because we eat beef, we don't eat dog. But there's like dogs, I don't know what most animals smell like. I know dogs can stink.
That's true, yeah.
So can humans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not trying to drink their blood either.
Well, you know who is a human? The writer of this episode, David Zuckerman, who actually wrote the last episode that we talked about, Rob, Plastic White Female. So we're back to back with two David Zuckerman episodes. Excited what he brings here. I mean, what we noted in the last episode was like a great overall plot, but also some very good moments and jokes. So that's what I'm expecting on this one.
Because this is my chance, by the way, to acknowledge that we didn't even talk about the title Plastic White Female and how it's a riff on Single White Female,
right,
the classic 90s erotic thriller starring Jennifer Jason Leigh and Bridget Fonda. Like, just for the record, people who listen to Yep,
just so you know.
That's true. Like, that's something about that.
We have another connection to Plastic White Female, and that is this episode, our guest star is Sally Field as Junie Harper. And Sally Field plays Robin Williams' wife in the film Mrs. Doubtfire, which Bobby had on his lunchbox in the last episode we talked about.
Wow.
It's all connected.
Yeah, man.
That was incredible, Ronnie.
It's all connected, man. Just connect the dots.
How did you even put that all together? You got like a cork board full of string.
The most useless information you could ever imagine.
I didn't realize that was Sally Field the whole time. That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have either. I just looked on IMDb. Sally Field, man, she's in that Steel Magnolia. She's got this great monologue at the end where she's all worked up about something. And one time, Rebecca and I were watching Steel Magnolias. And then I've got, a thought in my head, some thought. And then when I have thoughts, what I do is I got to say them out loud to Rebecca.
Sure.
Poor lady's got to listen to all that shit all the time. And she's usually a good sport about it. But this time I'm like, oh, hey, I was wondering, what do you think about, like, I was thinking that Billy Crystal's best work was on soap. And she's like, shut the fuck up. Sally Field is about to do her great monologue. Just hold on. Like, Rebecca never pushes back. She puts up with everything. And here she was like, hey, stop it.
No one talks during Sally Field's monologue.
Show some respect.
Yeah, it was a great monologue.
Yeah.
I understood.
Yeah.
My feelings weren't hurt.
Sure.
We have a first-time appearance in this episode. It is Dennis Berkeley playing Principal Carl Moss. So this is his first appearance on the show, and we will see Carl Moss in every single season going forward of the original King of the Hill run.
Yeah, kind of a favorite of mine.
Yeah.
This poor motherfucker.
Yeah, he kind of is like a tragic character, but in a different way than Bill, I guess. Well, I guess in a lot of the same ways, but he acts and he handles it a lot differently than Bill does.
He functions at least like
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I guess Bill does too ultimately, and on the base, cutting the hair. But yeah, Moss is kind of just totally defeated by the system and just trying to get by.
Like a lot of us.
Yeah, I was gonna say kind of relatable. You know,
He's an everyman. Yeah, of course. That's why we all like him.
There's a lot of characters like that in King of the Hill where they're a little more down and out than you see in most TV shows. You know what I mean? And that's one of the nice thing about the vibes of the show, because it's like, oh yeah, you know how in real life everyone's all fucking down and out.
Well, and it is in real life ways too. A lot of times, like
yeah, a lot of times it's like
what Moss has going on. Yeah, man. Like, have you ever been anywhere near people who have to work at a school? It's rough.
it beats the shit out of you.
Yeah.
When I taught in high school, the people who've been doing it for a long time are all just like, fuck. Like, they're just not happy people, you know? Like, they're just really sick of it. They were not in good shape. They weren't eating right. You know what I mean? They weren't doing any of the things you want to be doing.
Well, you guys are touching on something about King of the Hill as a whole, but also relates to this episode, which is the groundedness of it. So we have our first King of the Hill Halloween episode, and to contrast that to The Simpsons, it's like, network mate at this point on Fox. You know, their Treehouse of Horrors are usually very crazy, very out there. This is a very grounded, very realistic episode, and I'm excited to talk about it with you guys. This one airing October 28th, 1997. You know, we're in season 2 now. On Yep, we have jumped ahead a few episodes. We're jumping around now. We're not going chronologically anymore, but we're only about 5 months from our last episode that we talked about. Let's open up our Arlen Bystander and see what the heck is going on. Thank you for listening to Yep. Real quick, want to let you know that supporters of this show at $5 a month, they are not hearing me saying this right now. No, they're not. What they are hearing is a bunch of extra content in this episode, specifically for supporters. For Hilloween this week, we are getting into the underwhelming nature of 1997's I Know What You Did Last Summer, as well as the way better Scream, which is also out around this time. Rob, JP, and I, we all picked a film that we think that the Hills would watch in Halloween 1997. So we go through with our picks. It's great fun hearing what the other guys picked, and I had a lot of fun with my pick, which, spoilers, is Ernest Scared Stupid. I think Bobby and Hank would both enjoy that film. We're talking about the spooky blown fuse box in Rob's house, as well as the potentially rotten fridge full of food that he's got going on. And a big thing that we talk about are the real-life hell houses, that's what they were called, that inspired this episode of King of the Hill. This was a real thing, like Junie Harper is doing. Rob tells us all about it. Here's a little bit of that.
The guy who started it was quoted in the paper saying, nobody said the church is supposed to be tolerant.
Good God.
And then the guy who's putting on the youth pastor at this church in Fort Worth, Texas, says, we feel like Halloween is an occultic. And I like that the paper has to put sick in there, like occultic's not a fucking word.
This guy just said that.
We feel like Halloween is an occultic holiday. He says that 30,000 people have gone through their hell house.
See, that's a lot of people.
He says 700 of them have said they found Jesus. Now, maybe some percentage of them had already found Jesus, So it wasn't about conversion for them. It was just about, enjoying themselves.
Do we think that's a good success rate for all the effort put into it?
Well, I was going to say, it seemed maybe a low percentage.
2%.
It's a lot of money for 700 new Christians. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, what's the return? How much do they have to tithe and put into the collection plate to get your money back?
Yeah. If you like that preview, that is yeppodcast.com/support, $5 a month. It's just a few taps. Just check the description of this podcast episode, click that link, a few taps, and you are signed in and supporting us, as well as getting all of your bonus episodes Every episode of Yep comes along with about half an hour of bonus content like this, pop culture, things related to the episode, a lot of fun. Thanks for listening, but until then, let's jump in and talk with JP Scotto about Hilloween.
All right, well, first of all, we start with some music, which isn't always the case, right? We got some special music just for this episode, which is fun. So I like that the mood gets set. Like, this is Halloween, it's fall. A bunch of the characters through the whole episode are wearing different clothes than they normally do.
Yeah.
Which is always cool in a cartoon. Mm-hmm. Like long sleeves and stuff. Well, anyway, so we open on, the guys are in Hank's garage and they're setting up stuff for the Tom Landry Middle School haunted house. Turns out Hank's in charge of that. And so like they're tracing Dale for a chalk outline, including his cigarette. And Bill's got a fake axe chopped into his head, and Boomhauer's strung up on the ceiling there, pretending to be hanged, getting a wedgie. And right away, you know, we talk about slice of life all the time, and often it's like that opening. Mm-hmm. This one seems different. Am I wrong, Ronnie, that we haven't really seen through season 1? We didn't really see like the guys having an activity they're doing. Like, they mostly just sit around talking.
Yes, yeah, I agree with that. Like, they would kind of use activities as a framing device in the first couple episodes, like cutting the tree down.
Oh yeah, that's
or
right.
whatever. But yeah, this isn't used in that same way here at the beginning of the episode. It's just them just like doing something together that is related to the plot, as opposed to being a means to which to bring them together to like talk about what's happening in the episode.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it just makes the world feel that much more lived in, which is one of the great things about the show. And it's funny that, you know, we've talked about 12 episodes and talked about the whole new season, and, you know, but you still find like, oh, and here's another little way, you know, another little nuance to how they build out the reality of the world that I enjoy.
Tell you what, you guys ever been to a haunted house where someone gets hanged? I was like, damn, I just don't think I've ever seen that.
I don't think so. I've only been to one or two, though, so I'm not the best guy to ask.
I've only been to one or two. I almost punched a guy in one. I was like, I'm not, I literally, like, I was like, holy fuck, this is crazy. I don't do well with startle. But I don't think I've ever seen hanging. Hanging is intense. They got Boomhauer just hanging by the neck. Damn, that's some scary shit.
Yeah, they're going all out. They take it seriously.
That one's tough because you have to be like, how has he found himself in this situation? Is this like, did a monster string him up, or is this like really dark and sad?
I think it's a serial killer situation or something.
Yeah, jeez. This is just a guy killed himself,
or he was just depressed. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Bill
right?
Up there.
Like, watch out for zombies and mummies and
depression.
Depression can get us. Don't talk to somebody. You know, get the help you need.
Scariest thing in this house, for real, children.
Yeah.
Of all these things, here's the thing that's probably happened somewhere in this neighborhood. For real.
Within the last year. Jeez. Most common horror. Yeah, that was interesting to me. I was like, damn, that's dark. That's the darkest.
That is.
Hank Hill goes hard.
Yeah. Harder than you would really expect. Absolutely.
Jesus, Hank.
How about making it Boomhauer, like the least likely of them maybe to do it, instead of Bill? But of course, Bill's harder to harness.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's right. You need a friggin' big harness for Bill.
There's a practical reason for that.
Also, maybe if you make it Bill, it really, really hits.
It's too serious then.
It strikes those notes we were talking about.
Like, Boomhauer is not going to do that. He's getting laid. You know what I mean? Like, he's doing all right.
I'm a little surprised that Hank's so into Halloween. I don't know if that's just a bad read on Hank. I think of him maybe as too, like, bland and not liking anything deviant, and, you know.
Well, I can't remember where it was, Rob, but we talked about Hank being a little bit of a bad boy. Maybe it was with smoking. I can't remember. Where he kind of rebels in these safe ways, and Halloween is absolutely an excuse to do that.
That's a good point, right? Like this, and because I was about to say an April Fool's maybe is kind of like a sanctioned opportunity to rebel and be a bad boy, like you're saying. But I also can't imagine him pranking people, except Halloween, he would.
Sometimes people do have just like a weird, kind of unexpected thing they're obsessed with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they because it's a little different for them, that makes them go extra hard on it. It's like their one thing. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I could see it.
But also, I mean, we'll see soon here that he went trick-or-treating with his friends as a kid, and we know he liked Order of the Straight Arrow so much because he got to be with his buddies. So maybe this is a similar thing to that as well. It's just a tradition, really, for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I like that coming back up again. It might be the first time since Order of the Straight Arrow that we've encountered a memory of the guys as kids. You know, Hank says he wants Bobby to have a great Halloween like he did, and that sends us back to a memory of days of yore.
I'm gonna scare the pants off those kids, I tell you what. I want Bobby to have the perfect Halloween, the kind I had when I was a boy.
So here's us back in the past, little Charlie Brown music. The guys are kids.
Trick or treat!
Oh my, aren't you boys the scariest?
Yeah, man, talk about dang old boo, man.
You got any candy cigarettes?
So that's Boomhauer as a ghost.
And a child.
Dang old Boom, man.
Dang on, boo, man.
Bill was a prisoner. Dale is a hippie. He's still wearing a baseball cap, but he's got a handkerchief tied around, like a sweat rag or whatever, like a hippie might. And Hank is a devil, which we'll see throughout.
Yes.
One thing I like in this memory is like they made Hank just resemble young Bobby, but be still Hank. I loved that.
That's so cool.
Like when you see like a picture of a parent when they're a kid, it reminds you of the kid, but like slightly off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they definitely did that on purpose. It was really warm. I found it really warm. Like, oh yeah, that is how it is when you see someone's parent from the past.
Absolutely.
Anything that foregrounds the ties between Hank and Bobby. You know, I love the father-son stuff in the show so much, which it turns out this episode's all about that. So yeah, even that visual connection between them, it is heartwarming. Is this Tilly Hill?
I think it is.
I don't see how it's not, right?
Yeah,
now I'm remembering that I had that thought, and then I went back and watched it and confirmed, like, yes, definitely. The only reason I question it is because it seems that King of the Hill fans online, like on the wiki, don't acknowledge this as her first appearance. They say she's mentioned because Hank says, I got to call my mom. But they don't seem to recognize that the guys go up, they ring the bell, they trick or treat, they get the candy bars. By the way, huge candy bars, but then they're upset that it's only one.
Yeah, well, Bill, I think, is upset that it's only
maybe
one.
it's just Bill.
I think it's just Bill.
They are giant.
They're
candies.
full size. They're
huge.
huge. They're gigantic. Yeah.
I'd say they're even bigger than full size. They seem like king size.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, they have
some
something
kind
in
of
the king size. They're huge.
They're big as hell. But they end up egging the house and wrapping it with we called it wrapping. Did y'all call when you throw toilet paper around the house wrapping the house?
Called it TPing.
TPing.
Yeah, that sounds more like what people would have said.
I mean, yeah, I didn't do it, and I don't suspect that you guys have, but
I never did it, no.
Yeah.
I one time was with these guys when I was like 14. There was this guy on my football team, big fella, and across the street from him, there was this guy who had like a drunk dad, and you could just walk into their house, and this dad was just drunk on the couch, and like it's just like a real like no rules scenario. So we took a bunch of toilet paper from there, and I remember I threw one toilet paper into a tree. And I was like, this is horrible. Like I just immediately was like, this is someone's tree. What am I doing?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was very quick, and then I didn't do it anymore. That was it. And also, like, watch it. My parents' house got egged a couple years ago, and it sucks to clean eggs off your house.
Oh, God, yeah.
And it's like, damn, what a shit thing to do.
Yeah.
I'm even like a little like, oh, what does this mean? Like, what? Am I in danger in some kind of way? Is this going to be an ongoing issue that I'm just going to, like, is this my life now? I have those kinds of, like, if anything goes wrong like that, I'm like, oh, fuck. Does this just change the way I understand my existence?
Yeah, my mom was like, I think it's because we're the old people on the block now. And I was like, that makes me...
I mean, hopefully it's that harmless, right?
I was like, that makes me sad. She's like, but your father, he was pacing by the window a couple times looking for them. And I was like, I was like, man, I am so glad those kids weren't around when my dad was pacing because he would have fucking killed them. When he gets mad, it's crazy. I don't know. If someone's egging his house, they're going to get more than an egg.
Done for.
Yeah.
Get out the cinder blocks.
Yeah. Like he has a snake brick. You know, I told you that. He has a brick that he kills snakes with. Like, it's very...
Oh, God.
Like, he would have thrown stuff, you know, like, it would have been scary.
Yeah.
So, like, and I could tell my mom was like, I was worried. like, yeah, I get it.
Well, at any rate, they do vandalize the house a bit, ending with pushing over the mailbox, which has Hill on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think Hank says, you know, okay, now let's do whoever's house, right? So they were vandalizing Hank's house, and it's the same house where they were trick-or-treating, where this lady was. So there's his mom for the first time in the show.
Mm.
Yeah.
If people are interested in tracking that kind of thing, here's Hank's mom's first appearance.
Right. And this again to Hank, like, being able to express his bad boy side on Halloween, but also he's only doing it, like, they're only doing it to their own houses.
Yeah.
And I have to wonder
So
if they, like, the next day would go back and fix everything. Like, if they were the ones.
Yeah, I wish we could have seen that, because it does seem like what they would do.
Yeah.
I kind of like getting that confirmed about them.
And it would be such a funny, weird thing to do. Like, I don't know, people don't typically egg their own houses, right?
No.
Yeah, but it's such a Hank Hill thing to do, right?
It's like, that way you're not really causing too much trouble. Like,
Right, exactly.
And he'll fix it, I assume. Like, and that's fun for them. Like, all right, now let's fix it, you know? Like,
yeah. That's what I wish they would have said to end the memory instead of going on to the next house. Like, okay, let's clean it up.
yeah.
Well, back in the present, you know, of course, Bobby's going to dress up. It's his last Halloween. I don't know when they first start saying that, right? But at least in Hank's mind, Bobby's about to be a full-on teenager next year. So this is his last time to be able to trick-or-treat. They're at Megalomart trying to get costumes for him. Hank doesn't really like the options.
Maybe I could be a Dalmatian.
Halloween costumes are supposed to be scary. How's a Dalmatian scary?
They can bite you.
Mm-hmm. And 9 times out of 10, they go right for the groin.
Where are the vampires and monsters and ghosts? Elmo, Aladdin, Jenny McCarthy? I don't even know what these things are.
I like Peggy just throwing out a fact 9 times out of 10. And then
I'll tell you what, Dalmatians would fuck you up more than anything listed because it's real. Dalmatians are pretty intense dogs.
Yeah, they are.
That's my understanding.
Yeah, that actually came up recently on Yep because we were talking something. Oh, it was all the Dalmatians that kids got for Christmas because of the movie came out, the live action one came out. Now they were all in animal shelters.
Yeah, like that's a hard dog.
Yeah,
one of the hardest.
Can I also tell you about 101 Dalmatians is that there was a cartoon running at this time and Pamela Adlon was in it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What a career. Good Lord.
I know, right?
Of 101 Dalmatians?
The TV show, yeah.
Okay, I loved the movie as a child.
The live action one or the cartoon?
The cartoon. There's a moment where one puppy might not make it after they're all born.
Oh, yeah.
And the man rubs the puppy and warms it, and then it eventually makes it. And it was one of my first experiences of ASMR. It was probably like my third experience. But I remember being like, damn, I'm going to hit rewind on this puppy rubbing.
I like that noise.
Man, Adlon, one of the old sitcoms we've been watching is Night Court. And there's this little boy on there. But it turns out it's actually a girl played by Pam Adlon, you know, back in whatever it is, 1984 or something.
Wow.
Golly, she has just worked and done so many enjoyable things. I would say maybe not Dalmatians, though, as far as the most dangerous on that list, because he lists Jenny McCarthy, who has helped.
Who wins in a fight? Jenny McCarthy versus a Dalmatian in the octagon.
The Dalmatian wins in a one-on-one fight, but Jenny McCarthy's going to use her platform and bullhorn to make sure a lot of kids die from not getting vaccines.
Oh, I see.
Yep.
That's
She's a mass murderer. Allegedly.
Different kind of
Or is there any kind of
violence.
like legal reason why I shouldn't call Jenny McCarthy a mass murderer?
Her ideas could lead to...
She has said words and some people have died. That's all I'm saying.
Sure.
People want to connect dots. That's
Are
on
there
them.
people going around being like, Jenny McCarthy's making a good point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. There's people who, like, study shit and learn things.
But she's an actor.
Yeah, of all people.
Oh man, I loved her in Playboy in 1994 or whatever year, you know.
I watched whatever that show was that she hosted.
Singled Out.
Yeah, and I felt like I was supposed to love her, but I always felt a little like, do I love her? Do you know what I mean? Did you ever have that feeling where you were trying to like someone everyone liked, and it felt funny because you had to fake it a little within yourself? But you
Donald
wanted
Trump,
to be like,
maybe.
like you wanted to fit in, you wanted to be like all the other kids, like the same thing, and you're like trying for it. I did that with wrestling a couple times too.
Oh sure.
I don't know that I did that.
It's because you're not a great big phony like I am.
I mean, I guess it was genuine, but one thing that it does make me think of is how naturally I might be pulled toward kind of countercultural, whatever, drifter, slacker, bohemian type things. But then in, you know, junior high, as we called it, it was kind of like everybody fucking likes Nikes and,
sure, yeah.
you know, and I wanted to, but I guess it probably also felt genuine. I always felt torn in two directions versus actually like faking something.
Sure.
Like I want to be a preppy and a hippie. And I've never ever known who I really am.
That's probably pretty common too, right? People like assuming one aesthetic and just being like, man, I want to do other things. You know what I mean? Like it's not even against the aesthetic you're in. It's just sort of like, so do we have to just be the one thing? What's going on
this
here?
isn't the totality of what's happening in me.
Yeah.
This trend that I'm chasing.
That's right.
Later on, it turns out Hank was able, from Tilly, from his mom, who presumably still lives nearby, but doesn't come around very much. She still had his old devil costume that we saw in the memory. So that's what Bobby's going to be, with the, like, one of the prongs on the trident, whatever you call his pitchfork.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things is broken. So he's going to be the devil. Meanwhile, Luanne goes to what she calls a youth fellowship meeting, and there is this new lady in town. She gets introduced by whoever this guy is leading the meeting, saying like, and she's really, you know, introduced herself or like made a name for herself by writing angry letters. Like she gets introduced as this busybody pain in the ass. It's Junie Harper. She hates Halloween. She immediately starts recruiting Luanne using the tactic of telling this, you know, Luanne type person that she's smart. Yeah. Look, Luanne may not be like a rocket scientist.
Why don't we just start things off with a little quiz?
I hope it's open Bible.
Who can tell me what this is?
It's a witch.
Very good. And what's your name?
Luanne Platter.
Luanne, you answered that so fast. Do you know any witches yourself?
Witches aren't real.
Oh, yes, they are. Well, they even have their own holiday. Who knows what October holiday is associated with witches, goblins, and Satanists?
Everybody raises their hand.
Halloween?
Smart. Oh, this girl is very, very smart.
Thank you for noticing.
So, I mean, it seems like this person kind of does what good, I think, you know, grifters and con artists do, which is they find their mark in the room, you know? Like Luanne is vulnerable because, you know, she's not that bright. She wants, I mean, look, her family is destroyed. Is it her dad's in prison? Her mom's in prison. Where's her dad? Also in prison? I forget what her whole situation is, but her life's disrupted and she needs people to validate her and everything, you know? So she's ripe for the picking. And then it's like Harper finds the thing she can use.
Yeah.
Like, if I call her smart, this one wants to be told she's smart. You know, it all feels very tactical, strategic. And so Luanne's now going to get all manipulated. We'll get back to some of that manipulation in a sec. Let's go ahead and hear Hank's response to what he hears Luanne parroting from Junie Harper, which is that Halloween is evil.
I can't get Peggy. I have terrible news. Halloween is a satanic holiday. It was invented by the Jewish.
No, honey, not Druish, the Druids.
Where did you hear that garbage?
It's the truth. Trick-or-treating is devil worship. Junie Harper says so.
Luanne, Halloween is just good, clean fun. It's got nothing to do with the devil. Now, I don't want to hear any more of your foolishness.
Oh.
No. Well, what is wrong with you?
She just put some exciting new thing in her braid, and all she wanted to do was show it to us.
Oh,
I love that.
Yeah.
it's a really sweet sentence somehow.
Yeah.
You're like, she's just a kid. She just has a new idea, whatever. She's young or
She
whatever.
don't know any better.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I like Peggy in this episode, but I mean, we'll see it as it goes along. Kind of like every major story beat involves Peggy doing something I think is decent and good, you know?
Yeah.
Or and admirable and so on. But yeah, so here we get this kind of back-to-back. Like, Bobby is central, but there's a lot going on between Hank and Luanne as well. And it's really the manipulation of Luanne that I find, well, and then the way that ends up affecting Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
It all seems like kind of complex and disturbing.
It is.
And like a lot is taking shape here at this point in the episode.
Yeah, it feels, again, to that realness of this as a Halloween episode, like this part specifically, to where Junie Harper is, like you said, validating Luanne in a way that she clearly responds to, but like also offering this kind of community that Luanne might not feel like she has because of her unstable home life. She only has the hills. So it makes sense why Luanne is going along with all of this. And then even though she doesn't quite understand everything that Junie is telling her, like she's like, oh, it was invented by the Druish. Because earlier Junie said like, oh, it was the Druids, like they invented this and all this kind of crazy stuff, which is like kind of true that Halloween comes from like several different, most of the time pagan fall festivals and holidays and things like that, which is a big thing that Christianity did, was adopt all of these older celebrations so that when you went to like these other peoples and said, oh, you guys celebrate this, you know, in October, like where you celebrate the dead. Oh, we have something like that. You know, come on, get in here. You could join us. Like, it was kind of like a recruiting tactic by Christianity, and then now it's being turned around to say, oh, that's bad because it was invented by not Christians, essentially.
Yeah. I think the thing that's interesting about this scene, the whole episode really is like, it's like it's got like a really true-ish feeling and dark exploration of like Christian recruitment policies and like and manipulation, like finding marks, picking on people's weaknesses and vulnerabilities. And I really like that about it. I really like that it was like, I was like, yeah, this is kind of how it's set up. You know what I mean? Like there was something just completely true-ish, like for a cartoon, you know what I mean? And I liked that. And it also made me wonder, like, could someone make this episode now? Are there shows doing things like this now that would, you know, like kind of overtly critique the church or people in the church in the way that has that changed? Or I don't watch enough things now, but I
guess I want to look into this. Well, I'll do this later and see if I could find a reaction to this episode, because I have to wonder how this was received
at the
when
time.
it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I wonder, is this like really edgy on a big, like a network, you know, or I don't know how big, like was King of the Hill, like where people like, whoa, that show goes into places that are
well,
like
particularly this is on fucking Fox of all networks, you know?
Yeah. So like kind of like, how's it received? What kind of, also like Hank's a Christian, right?
Yeah.
So what I think is interesting about it too is that they're like, to be clear, like I don't think every like Christian is bad or something. Like
right.
I think there's like really nice ways to practice all religions that are, if you're taking it when you take in the nice parts and you're like, you don't attack anyone or whatever, but you know, spirituality and shit. And so I wonder if some viewers were like, yeah, Hank gets it. Like he's cool. He probably still goes to church and he's not like making a huge fuss out of it and letting his religion destroy fun or something. Like
well,
I think there's
that's
a lot
important.
of people who are just like, yeah, I mean, I'm Christian, but I can have a good time. You know what I mean? Like I know what's good and what's bad. I can tell.
Yeah.
And
I think it's important that the episode keeps the focus on fun.
Yeah.
Like they're not doing, I mean, they like poke fun at like the evolution thing. I think that's probably basically safe. You know, it's not like a bunch of people are like, no, I'm pretty hardcore invested in the idea that evolution's a fake. You know?
Right.
And anyway, but it's not like they're doing the thing where abortion's actually like really important, that it's important that safe abortion is available. Like they're not hitting that, you know, they're not being like, actually being gay is cool, you know, like it's fine if you're gay. Like they're just like, this kind of zealot is after good old fashioned family fun.
That's right.
So they make Junie Harper like an easy punching bag for most people to probably be fine with.
That's
I would
right.
think, you know, it's like, well, that's not me. I'm not against fun, like you're saying. Whereas if she had been like, don't be gay, then a bunch of America would be like, why is she the bad guy?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, that's a good point. They keep the issues relatively easy for a Christian audience.
Yeah.
Still on Hank's side a little bit.
Yeah,
you know?
but I am glad that you pointed that out, Scotto, because that is a big part of this episode of Hank is also a Christian, and he is pushing back against this more, like, I don't want to say right-wing Christianity, because that's really not what it is, but this more extremist, this more
like
evangelical, maybe.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know if those are even the correct terms, but you guys know what I mean, where Hank is just like this moderate, and he's like, he might be disturbed by some left-wing things, but he's also disturbed by right-wing things as well. He's just like a kind of in the center, everyman kind of character.
For sure.
I do want to hear this really convoluted thing that Junie Harper tells Luanne. You know, Hank has called her stupid, basically, and Luanne's upset and pretty invested in wanting to be smart like Junie Harper tells her she is. And track this logic.
The devil likes to fool you into thinking you're stupid because it makes it easier for him to trick you. But if you think you're smart, you can resist him. Do you see what I'm saying?
I'm not sure.
Satan be gone! Now you see?
Yes.
I'm not sure is so funny there.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? I don't know if I follow.
I love, so the devil tricks you into thinking you're stupid so that he can trick you.
Yeah. yes. And then when Luanne doesn't just fall for the bait and she's just like, I'm not sure, then Junie like yells at her and like basically forces her to agree with her.
Yeah, that's right. She kind of like tries basic manipulation and then she uses force.
Because Luanne is like too dumb for it to like even follow that
shock and
logic,
awe.
that illogical strand. Yeah.
And also, like, what I think is like interesting is when people are manipulating like that and stuff. What's interesting is like I don't know. My main religious belief is that I don't know anything and I can't know anything. Like that's my religion. Like I don't know. But I do when someone's being like that to someone, like manipulating and kind of being hostile. I do feel like there's a devil in that moment. Like I'm like, whoa, is there something really bad in the universe? You know what I mean? Like, is there?
Yeah.
And I don't mean like devil with a pitchfork. I just mean like, shit. People can like sneak into each other's bones and manipulate and control each other in ways that are not healthy or good. Like, oh shit, this lady's being fucking evil, you know? And so that's an interesting thing about that the episode, like the most obvious, probably not like this probably is obvious to everyone, but like the kind of creepiest, most evil character is this lady, whatever, keep forgetting her name.
Junie Harper.
Junie Harper, yeah. Like she seems to be if there is something satanic in the universe, she seems to be operating on its behalf.
Yeah. See, I'm not sure about, because the thing with her is that she is manipulating Luanne and kind of strong-arming her way into this community to assert her own beliefs, which is fucked up. But at the same time, I believe that she thinks that she's doing good. Like she probably does think that she's helping people, which is a big trend throughout King of the Hill of people who have good intentions, who do bad things with those good intentions. And so I don't think that she's using this as like a political means or as a way to enrich herself in any way. She thinks she's being good, but it is imposing her own beliefs on everyone else, which is wrong.
That's a good point. Yeah. I wonder how often that happens. Like, is it 9 times out of 10 the manipulative person just is doing it in good faith? Is it common, like when someone's like trying to control someone's beliefs or who they are, like it's all happening? Like, I think this is for the best. I bet that's more common than
It has to happen a lot. I mean, certainly, like you just think about in everyday life, every house in the world, parents.
Parents,
Parents think they're doing something good, and so many of them are just inflicting damage on their children, and they don't even know it, and the children don't know it. Well, and that don't know it thing too. Like Junie Harper is a true believer, yeah, that's the devil. Like,
Yeah,
that's
right,
how
right.
he gets you, you know? I do
Yeah.
like this idea of like whatever language we're going to use that's like ultimately figurative,
Right.
you know, believe in whatever system of belief. When human beings are doing human being things, some of it is real fucking bad. and spreads, you know, like one person going through something fucked up in their own head ends up, you know, spewing that on to others. And so like I think that's it. Like, good, if she's doing it in good faith, doing it for good reasons. Junie Harper is possessed by a devil, because the real devil that exists in our reality is like these ideas that circulate, you know, and take hold in people's minds, because all our brains are just psycho sponges that we can't control. Like, she has been ensnared by Satan.
Sure.
Whatever, say like that. And that's just like
Whatever
a word
that
you can
is.
use for what this phenomenon is.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? Like when you said the parents thing, I wonder if for this character too, or people like her, like when you're like manipulating people for a larger thing, or you're trying to control how someone is. It's got to cross your. Sometimes you don't know you're doing something bad, but it's got to cross your mind. Sometimes you got to feel it. You got to develop an awareness. Like, I think I'm fucking this kid up.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, and then you just kind of like, shit, I don't know. Like, you kind of just keep pushing, you know what I mean? Or like, you don't know what else to do. That's
I'm in this deep.
I think,
like that's got to be a big part of
it's
the
like
whole
that.
human experience. Like,
yeah. I mean, I think it's like that phenomenon where it turns out if people have a belief based on bad information, and then you're like, no, here's the facts, then they'll just double down on the original belief they had. Like, that's like, humans are fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And I mean, just to be clear, I can't reiterate enough. Like, I am experiencing this too. You know,
Sure,
like I'm saying, this is the way
yeah.
human brains work, and I got one of them. you know?
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, so you can imagine that something similar there. We can't confront our own limitations and mistakes and so forth, and like really live with the chaos of being. You know, we need to feel like there's stability and that we basically have things figured out, and all that's happening, you know, subconsciously. So if you do, for whatever reason, have the thought like, "Oh wait, am I fucking up?"
Yeah.
You're like, I think pretty quickly going to be like, nah, it's all right.
No, I'm in the right. It's everyone else who's.
So I got this.
But then also maybe then what happens is that little inkling kind of operates beneath the surface, and you do change over time, and that can be hard to observe, you know. But I do get I have the feeling that like, even if it's hard to straight on and consciously confront who you are, the misgivings you might have can operate behind the scenes of your conscious experience, so that you actually do grow and improve, at least in some cases. And then other times,
Definitely.
you just keep digging.
I know. I think that when you keep digging, you can start to learn about yourself. It like in a bad way, but like eventually, if you have that inkling at any point, it's gonna keep coming back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just the episode. It's interesting. It's just a silly cartoon about Halloween, but it really made me think a lot about like.
Yeah.
It just made me think about like. It made me think about how I was at a funeral recently for an older person, and there was a young man sitting right behind me, and he was like handsome, and I know because I know who he is. He's conservative, and he was aggressively whispering the scriptures back, repeating the person at the front.
Yeah.
And he was carrying a Bible with him everywhere. And I just felt worried about him. You know what I mean? Like, and like this episode made me think of that. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like there's a revival happening in the present, right? As we're watching this, that is tapping into some of the more aggressive aspects of Christianity that maybe might not be the nice, forgiving, accepting Jesus type energy that I like about that particular religion.
I don't want to get too off topic, but I think big appeal of a lot of this stuff is like just the innate human fear of death, and uncertainty. And I feel like especially now in 2025, it's a very, very tumultuous times and very uncertain times, to where maybe that's a big reason why more people are being drawn to it. But to go back to our episode here, I do want to note that Luanne is getting kind of pulled into this because she's being given some of these things that she needs. Like, she's being told she's smart and being given a community. She goes to Hank and Peggy and them and tells them about this, and Hank just is like, no, you're stupid. You're not, which is going to drive her even further into the arms of Junie Harper, which we will see, of course, through the episode.
Yeah, she ends up telling Junie Harper that Hank's in charge of a haunted house, because Harper says something about haunted houses or something, being bad. And Luanne's like, oh, my Uncle Hank's doing one of those. So now Junie Harper is gonna go fuck all that up for Hank.
Yeah.
As we head to our first commercial break, here she is getting the haunted house shut down at the school. This is Principal Moss.
Apparently some people consider Halloween a religious holiday.
So?
So our Constitution guarantees a separation of church and state?
Miss Harper has a point. And an attorney. Hank, we can't afford another lawsuit. We blew our budget fighting wheelchair ramps and left-handed scissors.
Well, that's how it is, huh? Boomhauer, grab Hagatha. There's only room for one witch in here.
Man, we just heard Hank call that beauty school lady a bitch, which is a little out of character. This seems more like what he might do, which is at least heavily imply, that Junie Harper is a witch. When we come back from the commercial break, we kind of re-hit the main point of the story at this point, right? Junie Harper has just gotten the haunted house shut down. Hank doesn't like that. Luanne thinks it's a good idea because Halloween's evil, because Junie Harper says. Hank snaps at her. Junie Harper says, right? So we've seen this where that's where these characters are.
Yes.
So I don't know that we really need to play a clip of that, even though it's always fun to hear the characters and everything.
Sure.
But because he's mad at Junie Harper, now Hank takes Bobby for some of that good old-fashioned vandalism that we saw him doing when he was Bobby's age. Hank gets to show Bobby how to do it, and Hank's I think he feels good, right? Like he smiles when Bobby gets the toilet paper to throw, right? Maybe?
I will say, I'm not crazy about vandalism. I was kind of like, this... Like, this lady does suck, but this is kind of sucks too.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. I like that.
Like, I would be so pissed if something happened to my shit. You know what I mean? If someone threw shit at my shit, I'd be like, fuck.
Well, don't do anything to deserve it.
So it was interesting. Yeah, that's right. It's interesting, but there's I like that about the episode. There's tensions. Like people are being kind of weird to each other,
Yeah.
I guess I can accept, because I'm always kind of on the lookout for oh, Hank disappoints me here, stuff like that. It's like I don't know. I've kind of got the purity test running with my beloved characters all the time. Like, come on, don't let me down.
Yeah.
Well, and I wish he wouldn't vandalize somebody's house, but at least this is about. I mean, he believes Halloween should be fun. Even though I don't quite get it, he thinks that this kind of stuff is part of it. And he's trying to share it with Bobby, and I'm always, happy to have him want to bond with Bobby. So be it. But the fucking kid knocks over a birdhouse, which alerts Junie Harper, who comes rushing out to track them down, hops in her car, importantly seems to run over her own cat.
That's right.
As Hank and Bobby flee, and Bobby can't clear the fence, so she gets a look at him. And then they get away, but the cops show up at the Hills house later because I guess she knows who Bobby is, and she was able to ID the kid, right? Otherwise, how do they ever get over here?
She's like, I know that, Waddle.
We get some good Peggy Hill here once the cops show up, knowing that Bobby got up to no good.
His antisocial behavior is the result of your whole family's anti-Christian values.
You hold it right there, Junie Harper. You are out of order. I go to church too, and I have raffled and bingoed and bake saled my way as close to the good Lord as you. So do not try to one-up me, because I will one-up yours.
The complacency of fools will destroy them. Proverbs.
Get out of my house. Exodus.
Yeah. I love the Exodus there.
It's so funny. Yeah, I'm really keying in on Peggy there, but you got to get the Exodus line.
Yeah. But how about that, right? You have Junie Harper coming in and accusing them of not being Christians when they very much are. They go to church. I don't know that we've seen it a whole lot up until this point, but I don't as we know the Hills as a whole, as we've seen all the episodes, they are churchgoers and everything. So it's not like they're any other religion. They're the same religion, and even then she's still calling them, oh, you're not Christian.
Yeah, it is kind of funny that Peggy's like, well, I do bake sales. It's like... it's a pretty superficial idea of what it would mean to be Christian.
Yeah.
But yeah, she
raises
involved
money
in church.
for the,
What was I going to say? but the Hills kind of remind me of the way that my family was Catholic growing up, in terms of like, I don't know, it was, for some people, I remember it this way. It seems not true anymore. Religion seems so politicized now. Mm-hmm. But for a lot of people in my life growing up, we were just like, we go to church. Mm-hmm. We don't like think of it as, it's not even connected to like not even beliefs. It's just like what we do. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's just like a thing we do. It's a part of like our culture or something. Mm-hmm. And
we
like,
go to work, we go to the grocery store.
Yeah, we're not
going
to try to go like tell people off about what they're doing wrong, or you know what I mean? Like and like, you know, we all do whatever the hell we want. We don't really care too much about like sinning. You know what I mean? In some kind of big, intense way. Like, you know, I've had Catholic guilts and things, and there was definitely some weird messaging I got, but it was more just like kind of like Peggy's here. Like, I go to church, I'm involved. Like, it's like a community thing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I feel like now it's more like the lady who's like pushing it. I feel like that's a more common thing. Do you know what I mean? Or like it's more like political. Even like when I've gone to weddings in the last like 5 years in Catholic churches, they like talk like, they mentioned the military in prayer, like in a couple of prayer things and stuff. Like no one ever mentioned.
I would hope they pray for our troops.
They never mentioned the military when I was a kid or anything like that. Like it was more just like, we're gonna read the gospel and then the priest's gonna do a homily and we're gonna hope it's not long. You know what I mean?
Well, I think a part of that is, this is real, political strategists like have identified churches as a way to push political messaging in a way that's very fucked up, but that's what's happening.
Yeah, they've always been doing it, but it feels like it's been intensified.
I wouldn't be surprised if it actively has been,
Also possible that I was just a kid not noticing anything.
And not paying attention to
that's
it.
Always part of it, right?
Very I was paying some pretty good attention. I could recite every word the priest was going to say before he said it.
Oh,
that's pretty good attention.
You're whispering along with them, like some kind of handsome guy.
Yeah, the only thing I couldn't do was the homily. That was like the exciting part. Like, ooh, what's this going to be? Because it's like his sermon or whatever.
Yeah. Well, despite getting caught and all that, or maybe because maybe that's a good part of it for Hank.
Yeah.
But he's feeling good about this experience with Bobby. Bobby's going to bed and Hank's in the doorway.
You're a regular Halloween hellraiser, just like your old man.
But then Peggy comes by, so he's got to act like he doesn't like it.
And I'm very disappointed in you.
Now we get to a part of the episode that is like fascinating, tragic. I'm so invested in Bobby as a character,
Mm-hmm.
And here he is, the poor kid. He just means well in this world. Mm-hmm. And they drive by Harper's house and they see the aftermath of their destruction and stuff. And he does not like it, Like bonding with his dad, we know that matters to Bobby. We see it all the time. And here he did something with his dad, but it doesn't sit right with him. Like what we're all saying. Like, I don't like this vandalism thing so much. Mm. Well, Bobby doesn't like it either. He feels bad about it. Unfortunately, when you feel bad about something you've done, that makes you vulnerable, like stupidity, right? Makes you vulnerable to a little indoctrination. So Luanne kind of stumbles her way into her own opportunity to influence somebody in need of guidance in this life.
Are you all right? I didn't hear the TV on.
By the way, I love that she's wondering if he's all right because she doesn't hear the TV on.
That's amazing. That's
like me and Rebecca.
Line.
Like if you walk in the room and the TV's not on, it's like, oh, did you break the TV?
Yeah.
I was like, why would the TV not be on?
That's like that. I can't imagine walking into like the living room at my parents' house and the TV's not on. My dad's not. It's like ESPN in the background. And even if he's not watching, he can be on his desktop computer, which faces away from the television in the living room.
Like I walk in the front door, and I'm like, okay, let me turn on the TV and now go take a shower.
Warm the TV up.
My sister's house is like that. It's never not on.
I'll even turn it on, not put anything on. It's not like we have cable anymore. Finally, we got apps. I won't even put something on an app. Let's have the TV on. I don't know. Maybe there's some kind of supersonic sound that I don't know I can hear that I need to be in my environment.
60 hertz hum or something that's going on. In the walls.
I mean, I wonder. I that's interesting. You know what I mean? We must develop needs, right?
Yeah. No, I do. I I mean, we can't get into it, but it seems pretty clear that television for me is just like, that's my way of maintaining some kind of connection to humanity. And like, it's easy to navigate and feels safer. It's super reliable. All these different attributes it has that real life humanity doesn't have.
Sure.
It's like curated in various ways and sculpted and crafted to be good and all this stuff that makes TV great and the world outside of TV less great. So let me just put on my portal to greatness.
Real life is unsafe and unreliable.
Exactly. And then what you do then is you're like, you need something. And then along comes Luanne.
That's right.
I grounded myself. I don't deserve to watch TV after what I did last night.
It's not your fault. It's Uncle Hank's fault. He's a Satanist, Bobby.
Come on, Luanne. That's the craziest thing I ever heard.
It's true.
Oh, dang.
Oh, dang.
He's a Satanist, which is funny.
Yeah.
And then I like that Bobby's like, oh, come on. But it's so funny that she's like, no, it's true. Oh, dang.
Oh, dang. Yeah. It goes from being the craziest thing he's ever heard, he doesn't believe it, to just instantly like, oh, dang. Well, I guess it's true.
That's a childhood thing, too. If, like, someone repeats something, you're like, all right.
An adult's telling me. I mean, Bobby grounding himself here, to me, that's like a very, and Scotto, please correct me if I'm wrong, that feels like a very Catholic thing.
Oh, yeah.
I grounded myself because I was
trying
bad.
to punish yourself somehow.
Self-flagellating.
Yeah, like, just because, like, like, even if no one knows, God knows, you know? Yeah, that's also so sweet. Like, he's just like, I think I did something wrong. I should be in trouble.
Yeah,
Like, there's something sweet about it.
It must not even be just Catholic, because I think I grew up that way too.
Yeah.
Just feeling like I deserve punishment. I think that let's get into this. I think that became like, I deserve to be perpetually unhappy because I am inadequate in a variety of ways. So you just live a miserable life because you think somewhere in you that you deserve that. And we don't got to try to unpack all that.
I bet it's not an uncommon thing, you know?
Yeah.
I think, because I said this was a Catholic thing, which I guess no doubt was influenced by human nature and human behavior, right? Obviously.
Oh, I thought no doubt was influenced by Real Big Fish. Is that joke worth making? A little ska humor?
I guess that's just, you know, you're like, oh, I'm not Catholic, but I still like feel these ways. Like, I guess that's just a human way of being. If you are, maybe if you're like an especially sensitive person like a Bobby or like a Rob Couch.
Well, I think also like a big human thing, regardless of the religion, is there's a pretty strong impulse to be a good person in one way or another, like that. And I think we, like, if you're raised atheist or raised Christian or Muslim, anything, like I think what the main common thread is that the majority of people have an idea of the right thing in their head and they want to do it. You know what I mean?
Luanne, she's like, well, has your dad ever tried to do Satanist shit with you? And he's like, made me eat liver one time and all that. And he gets this, he does another animated memory kind of thing. I can't quite picture it. I don't know if you guys remember it better, where Bobby kind of in his reverie here turns Hank into an evil figure.
Yeah, isn't he like putting a cracker with liver on it in Bobby's face?
Yeah, and then he's like, where at Megalomart, you know, that real thing that we saw becomes like, where are the witches? Like it's all red and evil.
Yeah, they I liked that. They took real things he said and just reframed the tone of them. So it's like he said, like, you're a real Hellraiser or whatever. But he said it all evil.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
And I was like, oh shit, that is a thing that could probably happen a lot, where you like reframe the tone.
That's what
I
do. I'll take a perfectly pleasant conversation, then I'll go back and replay it as if that person fucking hates my guts. And I'm like, is everything they said because I'm an idiot? Like,
I do that too. That's such a thing. Yeah. So it's like that was a fun example of that kind of very common thing that people do, that I do all the time. Yeah. I do it the way you just described, Ronnie. That's very relatable. I do it all the time.
Like, in the moment it was fine, but then when you're thinking back to it, you're like, no, everything was a dig at me because I suck.
That's right.
That sadistic dumb part of your brain's like, I can work with this. Hold on, I can do this. Watch.
You thought that was a nice conversation with somebody? A nice interaction? No.
I'll twist a few knobs, flip a few switches. We'll fuck you up about that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna change how that sounded.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting that Bobby is susceptible to this input from Luanne because he feels guilty. He does want to be good, and that you guys hit it. His desire to be good is beautiful, and it's like this gentle, fragile thing that we have going on in us as people, and you certainly love when you see your kid wanting to be good. It's like, thank God for one thing. But then that kind of feeling gets directed toward demonizing, literally like demonizing Hank, who would be for Bobby the major figure, presenting to him ideas that maybe he's not good. You know, like he's the authority figure, he's the arbiter of right and wrong in the house. You know, at least one of them. You know, he's a big, loud man, authority in Bobby's life. Because I think about like, well, if it's not Catholic, why would I, be concerned that I'm not good and feel guilty and feel like I deserve punishment of some kind? It's like, well, it's got to be that fucking scowl, right? The old man's scowl somehow communicating to me that I was, hey, it's like just that. Like everywhere I go, hey.
Yeah, that's right.
So I like that part of this where, like, it just makes so much sense that it would be Hank that all this would get loaded into because of who he is in Bobby's life, as a father will be in a son's life. We go to a city council meeting. It starts with Dale, by the way. I'm just kind of funny, earlier when they were throwing away the rest of their vandalism accoutrement, some like toilet paper or whatever, or else they chuck it. It hits Dale's roof and he flips out. So here he is.
He jumps on the ground like he's being bombed or something.
And then he sees a bug and screams again.
Yeah.
So that's funny. And then here he is at the city council meeting saying like, the only explanation for why I was attacked is because someone hates me. And then the city council person says, let the record show someone hates Dale Careful. It's a funny joke. Maybe I should just grab the clip if I was going to goddamn repeat the whole thing. But then there's Junie Harper saying Satanists are up and about and we got to cancel Halloween. So Luanne is really excited about this latest development that Halloween in Arlen is canceled.
Yes! Halloween is canceled! I just got off the phone with Mrs. Junie Harper, and she said that the city council passed a curfew because a Satanist made her run over her cat.
What about the trick-or-treaters?
Oh, there won't be any trick-or-treaters. See, Uncle Hank, you said I was wrong, but now everyone agrees with me.
Nobody agrees with you. You agree with everybody else. You agree with any idiot who says anything.
Stop attacking her, Hank. Luanne didn't cancel Halloween. Junie Harper did.
Peggy tries to play peacemaker like 3 different times in this episode.
She did a nice job there. Yeah. I mean, Hank's being funny and horrible at the same time, kind of mean. But I did laugh at a lot of the phrasing there. Like, you believe anyone who says anything? It's kind of funny. Oh, man. This is like the original cancel culture.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting is that like people want to stop other people from doing what they want. That this made me think about like what the hell? No one's hurting anyone here besides the vandalism.
Right, but the vandalism, stemmed from her doing this in the first place, right? Like,
That's
to track what's going on, Junie Harper goes to the school and threatens a lawsuit, and that's the reason the school backs down, not because they ideologically agree with her or think that she has any sort of valid point. It's just like, look, we cannot afford to take this on, we have to bend to her. And that's why Hank reacts, because he kind of feels powerless, because it was specifically his haunted house that got shut down. He was partnering with the school on this. So that's why he takes it into his own hands, his frustration about that, but also maybe his frustration about Luanne being like, Hank has to keep hearing about Junie Harper through Luanne as well.
Not for nothing, by the way, when Junie Harper gets the school thing shut down, she's using the separation of church and state disingenuously, right? Like
very disingenuously.
Because if anything, what she's actually doing is introducing her own religion into the decisions.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes, that's it.
Might be worth noting that.
And of course, Halloween, like, is there anything in the Bible about Halloween? Like, I don't I've never heard of that.
I don't know. I don't think so.
No, it can't be.
And then Jesus dressed up as a Ninja Turtle.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's not explicitly a Christian thing. Christians do it, but it's not explicitly like
And
hand
thou
in
said
hand.
trick or treat. I'll tell you what. One thing about when she goes to the meeting, the school board, is it a school board?
The city council.
City council. This is the thing that King of the Hill can do, is it uses like the materials of real life to create a cartoon image that you can kind of see happening in real life, but if it happened in real life, it would be insane. So like when she has a cooler at this meeting, it's like a little cooler, and she opens it and dumps the dead cat out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like in a cartoon, you don't really show it, but like in a cartoon, but like it's like everything is so real, like the circumstances, that like when she did that, like for a second, I just imagined someone dumping a dead cat out of a cooler for real in front of people, and that would be the craziest shit. That would be like a very alarming thing to witness.
I thought, by the way, that she was going to claim that the Satanist killed her cat, but what Luanne says is that the Satanist made her run over her cat.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought was going on, because she says that her house was attacked by Satanists. They say, what evidence do you have of that? And she dumps her dead cat on the thing. So I guess you're right. I never caught that quick line from Luanne of the Satanist made her run over her cat.
I thought that was funny for her to even admit that.
But still, this is again Junie Harper twisting kind of events to fit her narrative, to enact the rules that she wants enacted. So yeah, that's the driving plot now, is there is a curfew and people cannot trick or treat.
We might have not noted that at some point Peggy suggested to Hank that he just go ahead and do a haunted house in his garage.
Yeah.
But now that there's a curfew, there's no Halloween, so Hank's just sitting there with Peggy, and they've got like high C punch or something, and probably candy, I assume, and they got the haunted house, but the streets are empty. Halloween's ruined. Meanwhile, Luanne talks Bobby into going to this Hallelujah house. In real life, they were called hell houses, we learned in our pop culture section. But Junie Harper is putting on this Hallelujah house. Bobby's there with some kids. Junie Harper's dressed as an angel. She starts showing them around, walking them through the different exhibits. One of them, for example, is we join a family at the dinner table.
Dinner's ready. Where's Grandpa?
Out comes a dude in a gorilla suit.
Oh, that's your grandpa?
Haven't you heard? Our ancestors are monkeys.
Oh no, he's eating the baby. Stop it, honey.
We can't. It's against the law to teach creationism.
We can't stop the gorilla from eating the baby because it's against the law to teach creationism. Is so funny to me.
It's funny that it's like eating a baby doll, I think.
Yeah, it's eating a doll.
Which, by the way, evolution doesn't say that we are descendant from gorillas. That's not at all what evolution is. But they're just twisting this, again, to fit some strange narrative, making the argument that creationism should be allowed to be taught in schools, which, breaks Junie Harper's previous separation of church and state, of course, to save babies from gorillas. Like, it's just absolutely bonkers. But again, like, they very specifically are showing this to children who might not be able to like really parse through why this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's some of the worst shit going on here.
It is funny the way that this episode kind of highlights the kind of anti-logic of like certain kinds of religious messaging in a really playful way. It's so, almost like more effective than like a South Park poking fun at things where they're just like look how stupid this is, stupid.
Dum.
Yeah.
Which I always kind of thought was pretty funny, like how straightforward it was.
It is funny. I'm not even saying it's not funny, but I'm just saying like there's a kind of like, no, let's create some ridiculous logic here that is just like a parody of their logic. You know what I mean? And that is fully formed and pretty funny.
Barely a parody, maybe.
Barely a parody. Things get pretty wild out there. You know what I mean? Like,
people believe some shit.
People believe some wild shit, you know?
Well, I think the thing is here is that the story ultimately is focused on the characters as opposed to just the event, which is like what South Park might be focused on more than any sort of character development.
That's right.
So maybe that's why it keeps it more grounded, because it's ultimately about this battle between Hank and Junie Harper, because Hank wants to bond with his son and have fun trick-or-treating at his last Halloween.
That's a good point.
He finds out where Bobby is from Peggy, who finds out from Luanne, and another great Peggy moment. Earlier she stood up to Junie Harper. Don't tell me I'm not a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Junie Harper's little acolyte here, Luanne,
Yeah.
says Bobby's at Junie Harper's Hallelujah house, and thank goodness, because you guys are fucking terrible parents, basically.
I think that it's better for a child to receive wholesome impressions from established religious authorities than participate in rituals that are conducted by people who really don't even know that they are pawns of the devil.
Whoa, little missy, you hold it right there.
And before Peggy goes off.
Like, it's kind of, she's totally lost, but it's a really interesting articulation of her lostness, like, which makes me think maybe Luanne's not dumb, but she's just underdeveloped and vulnerable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so she's able to process and then articulate complex thoughts, even if they're kind of shitty or dumb, which I think happens to a lot of people that are maybe underdeveloped or vulnerable, is they can use whatever mental capacities they have to really hone in on something, and they don't have that kind of other critical part developed yet to critique that thing. I don't know if that's interesting.
Because it does seem like she is properly applying this concept, right?
Yeah,
like she does seem to understand, because the delivery, which I love, makes it sound like this is rote, and she's not entirely convinced that she's saying it right. Like it ends in that as a question, but she is.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, but yeah.
So it feels like it's kind of like something she's meant, but she's using it at the right time in the right way.
Sure.
So there is some kind of comprehension here, like she, but yeah, I like that you're saying like maybe she's lacking that further step in development where she would be able to critically engage with these ideas and how she's phrasing it and everything to kind of maybe move into a new thought.
That's right.
Anyway, Peggy's going to let her have it.
I've had it up to here with your baloney. I have taken you into my home. I have sheltered and fed you. But if you step between my husband and his son, I will cast you out like yesterday's garbage.
Damn.
From now on, you leave the parenting to us. We get a magazine about it.
I do like that Peggy is kind of consistently this middle of the road, like middle America. I know people, I guess, use that geographically, but I just mean like kind of just normal, everyday, small town or suburban, whatever type American who's like, well, I get a magazine about parenting and I do the bake sale at the church.
Yeah.
It's like just regular, everyday life.
What contributes to her regularness for me in that passage there is that she says baloney.
Yeah.
Remember how people used to always call things, that's a bunch of baloney.
Yeah.
It's great.
Where'd that go? Maybe baloney sales are just down.
I'm going to bring it back.
Yeah, please.
I'm going to start calling stuff baloney.
It does strike me as harsh that she's like, I'll throw you out. Like, that's a hell of a card to play in that scenario.
Especially to Luanne.
Yeah, exactly.
Life has thrown her out.
Yeah, exactly. But it does go to show Peggy's seriousness in this moment.
That's true. Like, I'm not even fucking playing.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about... It does seem to me like there's something where it's like, well, this show is about Hank Hill. At the very least, this episode's about Hank. So he's the one who's got to go resolve everything. And Peggy is just kind of a facility. Like, Peggy's like right so often, and what she's trying to do in each scene that she's involved in, you like totally understand where she's coming from, and she's doing what's probably the right thing to do and everything. Trying to keep the peace when that's a good idea. Let everybody do their thing. You can have the haunted house. You can be smart, Luanne. But then when it's time to like, hey, no, Junie Harper, let me stop you right there. And it's like, all right, Luanne, no, I'm going to stop you right there, right? It's like Peggy's doing so much good, but then she just goes to Hank to put him into action.
Yeah.
And she's done. And that's a little disappointing to me. But so be it.
Imagine if she marched up to Junie Harper and like gave her a piece of her mind. That'd have been a fun scene.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't have even minded if she had joined Hank and it had been the two of them or something. Like, I guess I understand why that's just not the way it's working.
Would have been nice, though.
But maybe I'm just being greedy. I'm like, yeah, give me an episode where Hank and Bobby are going to bond, and hell, let's have a good, strong friendship-based marriage too, and they can be teammates,
Luanne's storyline, and like every character here.
It's like, come on, Rob, they got 22 minutes here.
Yeah, could have been a movie.
Yeah.
I mean, the truth, I don't know why Peggy's got to stay behind. But she does. Hank, when he finds out where Bobby is, throws on his old devil costume, which ill-fitting at this point.
Yes, very ill-fitting.
It was his childhood costume. And he starts going down the street saying, trick or treat, which, I mean, this isn't important. It's a quibble, but goddamn, I never love when there's something getting repeated a lot for a while on anything I'm watching. Like so we're going to hear how this unfolds as people kind of join the cause, right? I mean, I'll probably just let it play, and then we might kind of narrate things that won't come across in audio. But I have edited out a bunch of the trick or treat chanting for the record.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hank, no! You could go to jail.
I knew the risks when I put on the uniform. Trick or treat. Trick or treat. Trick or treat. Trick or...
Hey, man, check it out, man. I don't need no dang on costume, man. I had to put on a bit dang on mine, man. Look, it's like I'm trying to get at this box, man. See, whoa, then gonna play tug of war, man.
So Boomhauer's a mime.
Just in a black sweatshirt.
Yeah, real quick. Bill ran out. He was going to be a ghost with a sheet, but then he tore his sheet, so he just turns it into a toga. And now he's like I guess like a frat guy at a toga party.
Yeah.
Trick or treat.
Boo! I am a high-priced Washington lobbyist peddling influence. Who wants candy?
So that's funny, right? Dale being Dale, and then what looks like maybe a nice suit, if maybe like kind of an outdated one. And then here's the big one, right? For the purpose of the story.
Trick or treat.
Trick or treat! Smell my feet! Give me something good to eat.
Classic.
Yeah.
Come on, Luanne. Trick or treat.
One, I like Hank. It's so simple. Come on, Luanne. It's like when he had that falling out with Boomhauer in Luanne's saga, and that just gets resolved with like, okay, Boomhauer, come on.
Yeah, come on over here. Yeah.
Like he's not mincing words here.
A stark difference from earlier when he's like, Luanne, like, you'll believe anything, like, shut up, you're wrong. Like, here he's just like, all right, come on, like
yeah,
join
now it's
us
working
here.
in his favor, so he's fine with it.
That I guess that's not really what I intended, but I guess that also might be true. Although here it seems like she kind of came to this conclusion on her own rather than just being told. Like, she decided she was between Junie and the Hills, and she chose the Hills ultimately.
Is that because Peggy like kind of put her in her place and knocked something loose there, like shook her free from the hypnosis?
Yeah, I think that's it. I don't think this is her just going along with Peggy just to have a place to live. It seems like she really feels this way. Like, she truly feels bad for kind of like what she did.
Oh, for sure. She's so emotional. I was wondering how she got quite to that place.
I will admit, I was surprised.
Yeah.
When she was like suddenly a new person. I was like,
which, by the way, she's
a
also
lot
dressed as a
happened.
devil. She gels up her bangs to be devil horns.
Yeah, like Hank. Yeah.
It's like a lot happened for Luanne off screen or something.
Yeah, that
is what I thought. Like, I don't know. There's a whole story there, but they don't have time for it.
Like you said, Scotto, they have 22 minutes.
That's
so.
exactly.
They got to keep it moving here.
That's one of those moments where it's like, she changed, okay?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But during this scene, it's great too because we see it's not just the main characters here. We see all sorts of neighbors looking out their windows and like joining. They're being joined by the neighborhood. And I want to go back a little bit because when Hank's outside, Dale sees him and he's like, because again, there's a curfew. Dale's like, hey, can you shut off my hose or something like that? Like, Dale's too afraid to go outside, which, you know, Mr. Anti-Government is like, he won't even go outside to turn his hose off. He's like, hey, Hank, can you get that for me? But yeah, everyone's here. They're starting a movement here, and they are rebelling in a way that is great to see.
They make it to Hallelujah House, and so of course we saw some of the exhibits, the little skits, you know. And now when we rejoin that whole dog and pony show, you've got these like car salesman dudes in button-up shirts wearing name tags sitting at like two top tables, like one-on-one with these kids, saying stuff like, now what can I do to get you to sign this pledge today? You know, Bobby signs it and then says, can I have another brownie?
Yeah. He doesn't care. He just wants more brownies.
I mean, he's swept up in something here, but he's also Bobby, and I don't know, he just wants a brownie maybe.
There's a line in there where like it's just like a background line where like the guy, one of the recruiters is talking to like a child girl, and he's like, I didn't make you eat the brownie.
Yeah. It's like real quick.
Oh God, I was like, that sounds that's a maniac move. Just like against a little child.
Yeah, they got some tactics.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you about tactics real quick. I remember when I was a kid, my family wasn't religious. When I was real young, I was like, can we go to church? Because I knew everyone else went to church. I'm like, Mom and Dad, can we go to church? And they're just like, maybe some other time. But when I was a kid, one of my good friends comes up to me. He's like, hey, do you want to come with me to my church? And I'm like, oh my God, my friend's asking me to do something. Yes, of course I do. That'd be so fun. So we go to his church and, I don't know, watch VeggieTales shows and stuff like that. Like it was a lot of fun. They had all sorts of activities for us. I was like, wow, it's so nice that my friend asked me to come to church with him. Well, then before we leave, there's this big announcement where like whichever kid brought the most kids got a prize. I think it was like a PlayStation or something. And my friend either got first or second place, and he's all happy. And I'm like, well, wait, what? And so I think that was the first time I could remember being taken advantage of, where he didn't actually want to hang out with me. He's just like, I need more bodies here. I need to fill more seats to get this PlayStation.
That's so fucking brutal.
Yep. And I was like, well, do I get a PlayStation too? I don't understand. What is this? And then
Cut that fucker in half, man. Some of that's mine.
Yeah, then I realized exactly what was going on there. So
again, there's another insane thing. There was a meeting about that. They're like, listen, let's get the kids to bring other kids. So sometimes these adults, they're already a little jaded. They don't want to come.
These kids are open-minded. They'll eat the brownies. They're open-minded.
Get the young blood. They're still underdeveloped. They can't think straight.
Yeah.
Let's train and deploy some child soldiers here.
That's right.
Yeah, I think that just radicalized me in ways that they didn't intend. Fuck you, I'm not being taken advantage of.
Did you? Yeah, you put it all together. You were like, fuck this.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Hank and his crew get there all trick-or-treating in costumes and everything, get to the door of Hallelujah House. And I actually have it in the notes here. It's funny because this came up as we talked. And I was like, I think I had it like that, a thought like that somewhere in here. Here it is, where rewatching it, prepping for the show, I was like, honestly, if I wanted to, I could probably get like emotional, like upset that Junie Harper is using Bobby's desire to be good against him.
Yeah.
Like, I hate that so much and want so badly for children to be okay, that it's pretty upsetting.
The emotional reaction is not just for Bobby, but because it's real that happens.
That's it.
You know what
right?
I mean? Like it's tapping into something that's pervasive.
Mostly Bobby, but then also real children in the world.
A little bit the real kids.
Hey, I didn't really think about this before. It seems enough related to bring it up. We started going to church here and there. We often don't, but we go to church sometimes. It's a Unitarian Universalist, so they're kind of like, hey, if you like Jesus, that's awesome. If you're a Buddhist, cool.
That's nice.
Like, they're really about like, I'm pretty sure the best way to go through the world is being loving.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's like kind of the driving philosophy
Whatever
of all
angle
of it.
gets you the loving, you're good.
You mean like what Jesus talked about, Rob? That's what they're teaching there? What the fuck?
It's kind of funny because it's like, it'll be kind of like, okay, I don't want to upset anybody, but I'm gonna, is it okay here at church? I'm gonna bring up Jesus. Is everybody comfortable if I bring up Jesus?
Am I offending anybody?
Is that how they talk?
It's not really like that.
Like,
a little bit.
Is there like a kind of awareness?
There's an element of kind of like, listen, for one thing, it's like, I know a lot of you are here, and Rebecca's among this group. A lot of you are here because you did grow up in a church that fucked you up and, like hurt you. And I don't want to like, I don't want to trigger any of that or, press the wrong button here. But Jesus did say some good stuff, and I just wanted to quote one of those things. It's like there is kind of a preface to bringing up some stuff that you would expect to come up at a church in
That's interesting.
the southern United States.
Yeah.
But it's just not, it's not a Christian thing. It's about community and love.
That's right.
All of which sounds great to me and also is pretty weird to me. It's like, all right, I can stand here where y'all sing. If y'all gotta sing about love, then I like the sentiment, so it doesn't bother me, I suppose.
Yeah.
Anyway, the reason I bring that up, one, just to be like, yeah, I guess we're all heathens here, but man, I've been in a church recently.
Yeah, sure.
My favorite part of the whole service, often at least, will be I mean, because by the way, like we sat through a great talk that this trans dude gave, and it was so moving, and made me tear up and everything, because it was about love, of course.
Yeah.
But like kind of the regular stuff that goes on, we sing the children off, like they're there at the beginning, and we do whatever. Like here's our weird indoctrination chant about loving people, and then we sing the children off to go do their classes and stuff, and it's just so sweet. And I don't know if I fully realized, like, oh, I actually like love kids and want the best for kids, and it's like, look at these children. There's so much promise there and hope, and they're in so much danger.
Yeah,
and I want this to be great. Like I want this to be a good thing for them. And it's wonderful that this little community here all wants to take care of, like help guide these children to the best lives possible. It's like my favorite thing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know the words to that goddamn song, but I like when everybody else sings it. And I read it on the screen and immediately forget what the words were.
That's great for those kids, too. They probably feel so much warmth during that.
Oh, I hope so, yeah. So I'm not pleased with Junie Harper it's, Luanne, it's like, oh, that's too bad. Luanne's vulnerable. And now it's Bobby. It's like she's getting younger kids in her sights. And again, specifically using, I don't know if we're going to hear quite what this is in the clip, but using that natural, wonderful desire to be good as part of her fucking plan.
Yeah.
Hey, Bobby.
Go away, Satan.
Bobby, it's just a costume.
There is a curfew in effect, Mr. Hill. But I guess you have no respect for man's law either.
I've had enough of this nonsense. Come on, son, let's go trick-or-treating.
He will not, because he is a good boy.
Oh, there it is. God damn it. So she is dressed like an angel and Hank is dressed like a devil. And we get a shot where Bobby's in the middle and they're over each shoulder, a classic cartoon angel and devil thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Bobby, if you leave now, you'll never get the key to the kingdom.
Come on, son, let's get some candy.
You go to hell.
You'll get candy.
Hell.
Candy.
Hell.
Candy.
Stop! I don't care about candy. I just want to be with my dad.
All right, then.
You gotta love the way Hank handles emotions so often. Like, what a great thing to hear as a father. And then Hank's like, all right.
Yeah.
Well,
all right, then. Everything to plan. Let's go.
that's a really sweet thing. And it's also like, it also is like, thank God his dad's decent.
Yeah.
Because I think any kid's going to follow dad there no matter what dad is. Like it's like some kind of biological impulse, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so it's nice that he's got a decent father who's going to lead him down a fun path that's not too negative. I also, in that clip, man, the whole like keys to the kingdom thing. See, that's like I love the Jesus stuff about like love and being kind to each other, but when it's like, follow me so that you can have heaven, follow me or else, I am the path or else, that's so weird. That's the part that I react against, you know what I mean? Like that's the element of the,
well, that's like a big part of Christian history, right? Is because like a lot of the texts are like a while back weren't even available in English, so you just had to trust that the people leading the church were like actually telling you what was in the Bible and not just making shit up. And then once it being in English came about, people are like, wait, a bunch of this shit that you made us do wasn't even in here, you motherfucker.
Like even recent, like my dad when he was a kid at Catholic churches, it was in fucking Latin.
Exactly, yeah.
He's just sitting there like no clue what's going on.
It might have been the 90s when they stopped doing
I don't even know when. I don't even know when it was, but it was like not as far away as you think.
Yeah.
I guess maybe we should know because I skipped it on accident. But one thing Hank does at the door there is he just, again, emphasizes the fun of Halloween. Like, it's harmless fun. This ain't Satan shit. It's just fun. Because he's like, oh, it just rips my heart out. And then he rips out a fake heart. And he's like, well, I'm just keeping an eye on my son, or keeping an eye out for my son. And then he plucks an egg from his eye, you know. So he does some goofy stuff. He's getting laughs, you know. I suppose that's important because it does that. And then him saying you'll get some candy is like, Hank, like we said, is like, Halloween's just wholesome fun. It's all okay. It's wholesome. There's nothing evil going on here, you know? And, you know, maybe then if the counter argument or counter offer from Junie Harper is fun, you're going to go to hell. It's like, oh, I think I know which one of these perspectives maybe I'd rather have to walk around with.
Oh, man. Did you guys ever believe in hell when you were kids?
No, I don't think so. I mean, you hear about it and you're simple, so I'm sure I like kind of thought it was true in a way where you don't ever really deal with what it would mean to believe it was true. You know what I mean?
I used to think about like being boiled to death, feet first, slowly. You know what I mean? Like,
oh God,
fire for eternity.
Yeah.
If you just believe it, it's like crazy. It's like,
yeah, that children are sitting there like, fuck, I'm gonna be burning. My flesh is gonna like, oh my God, like kids shouldn't be thinking about this kind of stuff.
My face is gonna be on fire. Yeah, it's a very, very dark thing to put into people's heads.
Mm-hmm.
Put into children's heads, yes.
Yeah, that's right. Adults can handle it.
Yeah. If you're an adult and you want to think about that, then have fun. Go for it.
I mean, I guess I don't know, because I can't help but think of like, well, what is going on with adults? And they're told like, well, if you let people get gender affirming surgery, then they're going to be in the bathrooms stealing the kids. It's like, the fear mongering never stops.
Mm-hmm.
Because the world is confusing and we're relying on each other to make sense of it.
Mm-hmm.
And lots of people are organized and tactical, strategic about how they're going to offer you what you're looking for, to lead you into horrible places.
And also, if you're like organized, tactical, and what you're selling is simple.
And simple. Yeah, that's one of the tactics.
It's going to be really easy to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it
and when
helps.
it's tied to something that historically is perceived as good and the right thing, especially in the West,
that's right.
Then it's easier to push that message.
Yeah, this isn't really the case because it's always had its issues and everything. But what that made me think of is like, yeah, but when you're like in season 10 of Modern Family, like it's not a good show anymore. It's just getting by on the prestige that it established years before.
Christianity is just season 10 of Modern Family. You're like, all right, we get it. This is what Sofia Vergara does. Like, that's how she acts. Oh my God. I don't even know how to say her name.
That's a show that I like and have never been able to finish. And I finish shows.
I watched the shit out of that when it was like on in like 2010 or whatever. I watched it and I was like giggling the whole time.
Yeah, there's so much to like about it. And but eventually I always burn out on like, okay, formulaic and whatever my issues are. I always forget why I don't like it.
Well, Scotto, I think you said on a podcast, like eventually I realized it was just a bunch of fucking rich people like complaining or something. Right. And I was like, he's right. And I can't see it as anything else now whenever I see it.
That is a thing I do. Like, that's what I like about King of the Hill is that it's not rich people. And I do get frustrated with rich people only if they're in nice places. So like, for example, I really love the show Girls and they're all rich, but they're like, they moved out and they're living in shitty apartments. So then I'm fine. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, if I have to see their nice things, I'm like, oh man, I wish I had nice things. That I kind of get like weirdly envious. And then I'm also like, why are the fucking houses always nice on TV shows and shit when every single house I've ever been in sucks?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, not just mine, like everyone's houses I visit and stuff. Not like they're terrible and stuff.
Hey, you've been to my house.
Exactly. Like, there's like, not like, I don't mean it sucks or is shitty. It's just like regular as hell. Stuff's broken. Doorknobs sometimes fall off. You know what I mean? Like, stuff's a little weird. Cabinets are like dangling. Just shit's weird. You know, things aren't perfect and fancy and new.
Breaker boxes are open.
Breakers getting tripped.
Yeah. The entire refrigerator's full of rotten food.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I got to eat at some point.
Yeah.
Hank and Bobby walk away. And I love Bobby so much.
We gotta get you home and scare you up a costume.
Okay. Hey, Dad, I was just kidding before. I care about candy. I care a lot.
Happy Halloween, everyone!
And there's Luanne. And talking about Bobby caring about candy, I was going to play this earlier, but how about this? Way back when they're at Megalomart, they're getting ready to check out. Hank assesses the candy, the treats that Peggy has selected, and then Bobby lets us know what he thinks about something.
Eat Wells, sugar-free, low-fat fun bars. Peggy, that stuff isn't for trick-or-treaters. It's for diabetics.
Well, I'm not going to gain 10 pounds like I did last year.
So don't eat it. Just leave it there. No one said you could touch my candy anyway.
just love that. I love that because one, I'm Peggy, you know. I'm like, oh, I got to be careful about what I buy because anything I buy, I'm eating immediately and a lot.
Yeah.
You know? Gaining 10 pounds on Halloween candy is an exaggeration. But
Bobby has to suffer because of her decisions, basically.
I mean, Bobby's so sweet all the time, you know, and here he is just like, leave my fucking candy alone.
Yeah. I want to touch on the end of the episode, though, when, like, the whole neighborhood is out, because they are all breaking curfew at this point, but I love this protest, because it's like, what are they going to do, arrest all of us for being out trick? Like, nothing's going to happen. If everybody bands together, nothing is going to bad is going to happen to you.
That's right.
And that's what we see here at the end of this episode.
Yeah, it's nice.
So we move on to our quiz bowl here. We have our very special guest, John Paul Scotto. So I think the way that this will work is I'll ask a question, and Rob, you and Scotto can team up and try and answer my quiz bowl.
Yeah, you got to team up because I'm so bad at these. If I go on my own, it's just like, shit.
I'm horrible at them too. Don't you worry there. So after Bobby and Hank vandalize Junie Harper's property, they ditch the evidence. They throw the contraband over the fence. It lands on Dale's roof. Dale, we see inside, is watching a TV show.
Oh, shit.
What is he watching? We hear the theme song.
Oh, my gosh. Would I love to know that?
I have no idea.
Oh, I know I must have noticed it at least once.
Is it a show? Is it a regular show that we all know?
It's a show. It's a popular show.
I know what it is.
What is it?
Sanford and Son.
That was, Dale getting up to some Sanford and Son late at night by himself.
Nice.
That's great.
Good job, Rob.
At the school, before Junie Harper ruins everything, Hank and Dale are working on something for the haunted house. What are they working on?
You know, when I watched this episode, I was like, they're going to ask these fucking questions. I'm going to know the answer. And I try to like really pay attention. And I don't know. I don't know. God damn it. I wish I know that the second I find out, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, I do remember that.
Was it? I'll just say something so I don't say I don't know. Was it something to do with decapitating somebody? Was that it?
Yeah.
And there's a great line in it about like how he doesn't want the blood to flow back at him. Like he wants the slope.
Yeah.
He doesn't want the blood to flow back at his severed head. See, I knew I remembered it.
Let's get the rise and run of this trough right. I don't want my blood rushing to my severed head.
I loved that line.
So you can't tell from the clip, but yeah, they're talking about what they're doing. It's a guillotine that they're working on.
I've got another one. When the boys are younger in a flashback, they get those giant-ass candy bars we were talking about. What brand are those chocolate bars?
I mean, I just picture brown.
In my head, they looked like they were Hershey, but
I assume they're Hershey's.
You're right, Scott. It's Hershey's. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to remember that moment for the rest of the day.
You want another chance to feel good? Or is it going to ruin it?
No, I want another. If I could feel good twice, I mean, good heaven. You know how rare that is?
So Junie Harper's getting the haunted house shut down, and Bill has a suggestion for what they could do instead of a haunted house there at the school. You remember what it was?
A suggestion of what they could do instead of a haunted house. No.
Bill's divorced house. That's what they could go to.
The house of divorce.
Oh, we could make it a house of pancakes.
That's right.
There you go.
Make it a house of pancakes.
I'll tell you what, I went to IHOP a couple years ago, and it was like $28. Like, I was like, what the hell? You know what I mean? I was listening for me alone.
It's probably $40 now if that was a couple of years ago.
I was like, this is nuts. This is just pancakes. You know how little these cost?
Yeah.
I've never found them to be particularly good pancakes.
It's like I made
Cracker
them.
Barrel has amazing pancakes.
I haven't been to the Cracker Barrel on this side of the decade, so I couldn't say, but...
IHOP boring pancakes.
Great name, though.
Yeah, they knocked it out of the park on the name, and they're like, we don't need good pancakes.
Did you guys trick-or-treat? Were you trick-or-treaters?
Yeah, how have we not even talked about Halloween experiences? So caught up in this episode gets at some shit,
There's
right?
so much here,
so
yeah.
you start talking about that?
Yeah, it made us think about serious religion shit.
Yeah, my Halloween for me was like a 3-year run when I'm probably 8, 9, 10. And we would go over to my grandparents' house. They lived in a little, suburban neighborhood. They knew their neighbors. My like they were friendly. They're kind of classic middle class suburbanites in the 20th century United States, where they like knew their neighbors and had block parties and stuff. Like it's not my experience at all, living out in the boonies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember my cousins having block parties and being like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I don't have a block. I just have sheep. There's literally sheep outside.
Sheep parties, yeah.
Yeah, like the guy next to us raises greyhounds or something, and the lady behind us has moo cows.
Yeah, we're
not partying with the dogs and cows.
Now, Rob, when you saw those people, did you acknowledge each other, or was it just like, nope, we just...
No, not really.
Yeah, we didn't acknowledge our neighbors either. It's just like, yeah, they're farmers. I don't know.
I lived in town, and we didn't acknowledge our neighbors.
Do people acknowledge neighbors? Like, yeah, that's like the thing with my cousins in like suburbia. Like they acknowledge their neighbors. They had block parties and shit. I was like, holy shit, this is like television. This is wild.
Yeah, so I mean, back then people were hanging out in the driveway, grilling at least some years, and then the kids, me and my sister, and I, might have been just the two of us. Maybe my mom has to tag along. Poor lady. Dad wasn't gonna do it. But you start making some making the rounds around, a figure eight or something, and it's a pretty nice neighborhood. Loaded up on candy. One guy did give out a toothbrush, kind of that notorious fucking dentist or whatever that gets joked about on TV sometimes. But one of probably the most memorable experience was somebody had a haunted house in a garage.
Oh, wow.
I think they had hung trash bags to create the kind of a path through the garage. So you walk in, I think I'm pretty nervous, and jump scare, So then when it's time to turn the corner to go down, to keep going through the figure S shape that they've created, I like peek around the corner, you're not going to surprise me. And this poor bastard sitting back there waiting to surprise somebody was so disappointed. It's like, oh, you peeked. Boo, I really spoiled it for that guy.
No candy for you.
He's like, I set this whole thing up.
My gosh.
You know how many trash bags I bought?
I mean, it was pathetic.
Also, pathetic in what way?
Well, it's just like
too many trash
bags. They created a couple of partitions so that there's like a couple of it's a garage. It's not big, so you're just like walking through the littlest bit of space for a couple of jump scares. I think the lights might have been on. I wonder if that's true. In my memory, the lights are just on.
There should be like weird lighting. It should be dim.
Something. Yeah. Get a fog machine, set some shit on fire. Come on.
Walking through hallways of trash bags that you're describing. I'm just picturing like trash bag hallways. Has that ever happened outside of America? Or is that like a uniquely American experience that you had? Like, I feel like that's an American thing to think to do.
Sounds pretty American.
Like in a garage.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a 2-car garage, and we'll hang up plastic trash bags.
Yeah, I don't feel like anyone else is getting up to that besides like Texans or something.
Right.
I can see my dad doing that, actually.
There's stuff about your dad that sounds Texan to me.
Yeah, there's something about him. Yeah, he does ridiculous stuff.
Long lost Texan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know that I have any exciting Halloween stories. I remember one time when I was younger, I went out with my mom and my dad and my sister, and then I think my sister wanted to go back. So my mom was going to go back with my sister, and my dad was like, oh yeah, we'll keep going and we'll hit up like some of the back streets. Mm-hmm. Well, it's the late 90s, early 2000s. I'm like, back streets? What, fucking Backstreet Boys?
Backstreet's back.
And for some reason, that wording is stuck in my head for like 30 years. Or I'm like, the back streets. We're going to the. I thought it was the coolest thing. Like, we're going to the fucking back streets, like the Backstreet Boys. All right, like we're about to get some really good candy, and I doubt we did. But Halloween always exciting as a kid. But I remember I wasn't like too bummed to grow out of it. I wasn't like, oh, is this my last Halloween?
Yeah.
I was just like, all right, whatever.
My last Halloween was in 8th grade. Me and this kid Billy. I always trick-or-treated, always dressed up. And me and this kid Billy, we painted our faces, and we just wore long white T-shirts. We just to get candy. And I was like, this isn't right. I'm too big. I'm just too big. This is weird. I remember just all the other people trick-or-treating were like I could just stomp them out. Like they were so much smaller than me, and I was I look like a juggalo. This is crazy.
What were you supposed to be?
We just wanted to get candy. We were just like, let's paint our faces. You know what I mean? Like that was it.
We're dressed up.
You know what I mean? Like
it definitely sounds like a juggalo.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know what I was doing, but I felt like I was like the weird guy. You know what I mean? And I remember that was it. That was what. But, and we had pillowcases. Did you guys use pillowcases
I don't remember. I think we had plastic bags that, like, even I think school would give you a bag to use.
Okay.
Like, that seems right to me.
So, Scotto, then you grounded yourself because you felt so bad for taking all that candy that you shouldn't have been taking?
I was like, ah, shit, I took candy from children.
It occurs to me that I probably have stories taking Felix trick-or-treating that I will save for some future Halloween episode.
There's another one. Yeah. There's another Halloween episode of King of the Hill.
For now, I guess we better wrap up.
Yeah, what did you think about this one, Rob?
Halloween, I like it a lot. We hit one of the major points for me right away, which is that it's a grounded Halloween. I hate Treehouse of Horror. I like The Simpsons. I never want to watch a Treehouse of Horror. I don't like when shows do weird shit. Like, this isn't The Simpsons. This is goddamn Edgar Allan Poe, and the guys are yellow. I don't want to watch this.
Yeah, sure.
Like, I'm sure, it's got the jokes and whatever, but I want this. I want this lived-in, concrete reality, realistic type situations. I do like that this one, because it's not like every episode of King of the Hill does this, as rich as it can be. This one's really packed with opportunities to think.
Too many opportunities.
About what it's doing, about what life was like then, about what life is like now. Mm-hmm. I like all that. I like candy. Mm-hmm. So I'm giving it a 4.666
nicely
out
done.
of 5 real witches.
Nice. Real witches.
Mr. John Paul Scotto, what did you think of this, and what are your closing thoughts on it?
I thought it was great. I loved everything it made me think about. I give it a 5 pitchforks out of 5. It's very, I don't know. I like that I was giggling and also thinking about it traveled time well. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like it was informed by the moment we're in, and I liked that about it, and I liked that it was a kind of a more playful, gentle critique of something that's serious. That I almost hits a little harder because it interacts with kind of more regular people or something. It's not as over the top as some critiques of this stuff might be, and I liked that. And I also liked that it involved. It didn't like damn all Christians.
Yeah, right.
Do you know what I mean? Which I liked that because I think it's absurd when people act like all people of any religion are so bad or something.
Right. Yeah.
And so I like that the Hills are Christians and they're dealing with this more kind of extremist version of it. And I don't know, 5 out of 5. It was total blast. I laughed a lot. I wish I thought of the 4.666 thing. That was
probably the only reason I'm not giving it a 5 is I just wanted to say that.
I just want to use that one. You got it. You got it. Yeah, Scotto, like you're saying, I don't know how short or long this will edit down to, but we are almost 3 hours recording, and I still feel like there's so much more we could have talked about. On this episode, the way that you said it traveled well, like it does well in 2025. Like some things in King of the Hill to me are like starkly different in a bad way, but this episode I feel like really worked because it did bring me to 2025 in a lot of ways, but it gave me hope because we have all these characters saying, fuck this, you're not going to tell us how to live our lives. And the whole neighborhood bands together to just continue like their tradition of what they want to do, irregardless of like the religious aspect of anything. So to me, that was very hopeful. I really enjoyed that.
That's a good point. I'm glad you said that, Ronnie. The hopefulness of it.
I know we talked a lot about like church and religion here, and that's not to be down on religion as a whole, on the Christian faith as a whole. Like, I volunteered for churches multiple times, and I'm not religious. Like, there are some churches that do some great things, and some of the best people I know are Christians. And are very open-minded and loving people, which is the best that Christianity has to offer. But, in this episode, we see this character, again, we never really get her motivation for why she's doing this. She's maybe a little cartoony in that way, that there's no depth to this character. I can't really suss out.
She's like Michael Myers like that,
Yeah. So it's hard for me to really have an opinion on Junie Harper, but I do think what she's doing is wrong, and especially when she calls Hank a Satanist and all this. Like, she manipulates a family and almost tears a family apart, not dissimilar to whatever Twig Boy's name was in the first episode in Pilot, where he is trying to do well by Bobby. He thinks he's in trouble, tries to get him out of that house, even though he's in a loving home. So a lot of just insanely interesting things. I didn't go into this wanting to give this one a 5 out of 5. I have a lot of great memories of seeing it as a kid, But just watching it, like this one isn't as funny as like a single or a plastic white female or whatever that episode's called. But I just really think this episode is so smart and so great. So I'm gonna give it 5 Dalmatian costumes out of 5. This one will go right for your groin because it's a great episode.
Yeah.
So first of all, we got to thank our special guest here, Mr. John Paul Scotto, again, writer, educator, podcaster. JP, where can people find you?
jpscotto.com. You know, I got a podcast, how I've read, and you might like to listen to it. I don't know if you like my voice, maybe.
Well, you just came back with a new season.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Podcast aside, I just like being able to talk to you and hang out. Like, this is just so fun.
Well, we love having you here. It's always a blast. You're the only person we've had the courage to ask to come on here that we think can handle the Yep experience thus far.
Oh, I can handle it. It's a ton of fun. I love you guys. I love your show. So,
thank you.
We love your show as well. Again, that is How I've Read is John Paul Scotto's podcast. And have you published anything new since we last had you on?
No, I have a thing coming out next year in an anthology called Bad Sex, and it's about terrible sexual experiences. So I'm pretty excited about that, but it's not out yet.
Okay, well, when that is out, we'll bring you on to talk about a bad sex related episode of King of the Hill.
Fun. Yeah,
and we can tie it in there. So, of course, thank you to John Paul Scotto for joining us. The links to where you can find him, where you can read his wonderful work will be in the description of this podcast episode. Thank you for listening to this episode of Yep. We want to thank our supporters over at yeppodcast.com/support who help financially pitch into this show. They're doing the bake sales, just like Peggy is. You know, these are some real good, I don't know what you call a Yep podcast listener, but they're good ones, all right, doing the work. You can find us at yeppodcast.com. If you want to reach out to us, want to contact us, and again, you can support us over there. We want to thank our Propane Hall of Flame supporter, Nick. Nick. I don't know where Nick stands on all this religious stuff, but I know Nick, he's a real heavy metal head. He's into some extreme shit, so...
He probably likes Halloween, right?
He probably likes Halloween, so we hope that he liked this Halloween-themed episode, this very spooky one. Oh, our rights are being infringed on. Spooky! So scary. Next time... on Yep. All right, so we're not going chronological. We're not doing season 2, episode 5. We are jumping to season 5, episode 19, Hank's backstory.
Mr. Hill, you suffer from a disease called diminished gluteal syndrome, or DGS.
I don't understand. What does that mean?
Mr. Hill, you have no ass.
I can't believe that's season 5. Like, you feel like that's earlier King of the Hill.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Classic.
holy shit, that's 2001. That's like 4 years removed from this, but that's the strength of King of the Hill. 4 years later, they're still putting out fucking home run episodes.
Yeah.
Hank's got a small butt. You see it in the episode, all right? His little booty.
Thank goodness.
I'll tell you what. Diminished gluteal syndrome, DGS, you have no ass. That sounds like David Foster Wallace wrote it. Like, it's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Like, and so like inventive and silly and like weirdly almost real sounding or something. You know what I mean?
Real sounding, and I don't know that I ever realized before that episode that, yeah, man, a bunch of dudes got no ass.
Yeah.
And now you look around, it's like, yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'm not one of them. I got so much goddamn cake.
My man
Scotto's packing
Scotto's
cheeks
got
back
some
there.
junk in the trunk.
Like, if you had a big birthday party, there'd have to be some leftovers in the fridge, you know? Like, this is...
Scotto's dragging a wagon behind him wherever he goes.
I got the old caboose.
He's got some to spare for poor old Hank.
That's right.
I'm excited to talk about Hank's ass, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely excited to, some levity from this Hilloween episode. Hank's small booty, excited for it. Hopefully you'll join us for that as well. Yep. Ronnie coming in here after the fact. I did try and find any sort of reaction to this episode in 1997. I was looking high and low. I couldn't find nothing. I couldn't find anything in response to this episode, so perhaps there was some discontent from certain religious groups, but if there was, they would have kept that to themselves. I couldn't find nothing, but who knows if that would be the case if this episode came out today.